Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm just going on a little hike here with Leela and wanted to talk about a couple things. So the first thing I want to talk about is the cost of the Doberman. So I want to tell you guys how much I had paid for her, um, how much I paid for her spay, and sort of what the monthly fees are that I have to pay. So I'll start with the breeder cost. So that's the most upfront significant cost. So basically, from the breeder, I paid $3,000 Canadian for her. That was the breeder cost. So that was the cost just from the get-go to actually purchase her. It's really important that if you are going to get your Doberman from a breeder, that you do get your Doberman from a good breeder. Some of the things to look for are obviously a breeder who's not, advertising on Kijiji. You want a breeder who you can get references from, has a good reputation in the community, a breeder who will have all of the paperwork on the parents at very minimum. So I actually have all the genetic information on Leela's parents, her grandparents, and her great grandparents. That's how far back I have, all the tests that were done on them and all the genetic information. So that's really important. And then you also want to make sure that the breeder, when you email or call up and say that you want a puppy, they don't just say, okay, here you go. At the end, the breeder should also be um, picky about who they give their puppies to. So we went through, a really lengthy interview process with the breeder. And, she wanted to kind of know about our lifestyle and, our history with dogs. She did a reference check with our vet. Um, so she did a lot of research on us just as much as we did research on her. So keep that in mind when you are looking for a breeder. So important things are, make sure that the breeder obviously charges, it's not $500 for a Doberman and a posting on Kijiji. Make sure that, you do your research online and see what people are saying about your breeder. And then make sure that the breeder, is interviewing you and is really picky about, who you are and what your qualifications are, and that you get basically all the genetic information on the parents, and then even further back if you can. So that's the portion I want to talk about the cost and the breeder. After that, I wanted to talk about the spay. So we got her spayed at 2.5 years old. I'll make a separate video about why we waited until 2.5 years old and what the experience was like, because I think that's a very heavy topic. It's a lot of information that I have, so I don't want to just throw that into this video. But in terms of the spay, it cost us about $800 with the vet. Yes, you can definitely, go to like your local SPCA, and I think it's much cheaper. But I like to do it at the vet. I was paranoid. I wanted to make sure that everything was okay. So we did it with our vet. He charged about $800. Um, that included the surgery, the anesthesia, everything, and then he sent her home in like a little garment that she could wear. That basically meant she didn't need a cone. It was just like an outfit that zipped up and kept her stitches um, secure so that she couldn't get at them. So that's the big significant cost is obviously the purchase from the breeder and then the cost for the spay or neuter. Neutering is going to be less than a spay, and it's also going to be less if you do it younger, but it's really, really, a lot of research is showing that, you don't want to neuter and spay your dogs under 2 years old. They really need, their hormones in order to grow properly. But again, I'll make another video on that. And then I just want to talk about kind of what my monthly costs are. So I do feed her raw, as you guys know, and I spend about $300 to $400 a month on her food. I am buying her a really high-end food. It's not needed. There's, some cheaper brands out there too that would give your dog just as much nutrition. But the company that I'm feeding, it's like all locally sourced. It's organic. I don't know. I'm just a little bit crazy, I know. But yeah, so it's about $400 a month on her food. And then vet bills. She's healthy, but I've gone into the vet, a few times for different things. If she gets a cut or, if she has diarrhea for more than a couple days. So I'll definitely put aside, you know, at least $500 to $1,000 a year just on vet visits. So that's if everything, if your dog is healthy. That's just like the minimum for just, your checkups, your vaccines, your maintenance. So yeah, I just wanted to share those big costs with you guys. The breeder cost from the get-go, your spay and neuter cost, and then your monthly maintenance cost in terms of food. And that doesn't include, any toys and extra things that you want to buy. So definitely make sure that you set aside, the budget for your Doberman. But those are the kind of the big things out of the gate. The breeder and the spay are gonna, take you down right away. Um, and then after that, it's just your maintenance. Anyways, thank you so much for being here, guys. If you have any questions, please comment below, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.